Birdseye area man murdered 3 years ago has still not been solved. Now the victim's family is offering a reward in that case. Mike Kreitz went missing from his Birdseye area home in June 2011. Some of his remains were found near McDonald Pass and his skull was recovered a few miles away, but no one has ever been charged in the homicide. His family is now offering a $10,000 reward in the hope that some new evidence will turn up.
I think the big message is for people to come forward no matter how small the information, because we feel that after 3 years there's probably multiple people who know something.
It is unfortunate that it may take that amount of money, but sometimes people will come forward. That's quite a bit of money. It's still on our radar. We still are interested in solving it, and I believe we will.
Anyone with information can call Crime Stoppers at 443-2000. A Helena man faces a trio of felony charges for allegedly running a marijuana grow operation in his home. Lewis and Clark County deputies and Helena police officers arrested William Ross Burcar yesterday after a search of his home on 9th Avenue revealed 21 marijuana plants in various stages of development. Law officers also found grow lights, fans, and venting with the plants in the basement of the home and in the basement of a next-door residence. According to court documents, Burcar told investigators that he's been growing pot since 2010. He faces a possible maximum sentence of life in prison for felony production of dangerous drugs, and his bond has been set at $50,000. The city of Butte is taking steps to protect the city's history from scavengers. This after several thefts have been reported at area mine yards. MTN's John Amy shows us what's being done to improve security.
They're just destroying a real part of Butte's history.
Butte officials are working to secure its historic mine yards that they say are steadily being stripped bare by metal scavengers trying to make some quick cash. The county is repairing fencing, damaged doors, and putting up bars on open windows to prevent these thefts. Police say thieves are trying to cash in on the copper and metals inside these historic machines. County Reclamation Manager Tom Malloy remembers catching a scavenger stealing parts inside the Mountain Con hoist house last year. As the cops were taking the thief to jail, Malloy gave the man an earful.
I looked at the guy and I said, "Do you know what goes on the end of this piece of equipment right here?" And he said, "No, I have no idea." And I said, "Well, neither do I, because some dirtbag stole it, and now it's gone."
I'm standing inside the hull of a giant electric hoist motor that had literally tons of copper and steel stolen from it over the years by scavengers and thieves. Police arrested a man earlier this week for allegedly trespassing on the mine yard property after residents called to report suspicious activity. Butte Undersheriff George Skuletich encourages more residents to call anytime they see anything suspicious at the mine yards.
If you live around the mine yards, you know there's not supposed to be any activity. Call us if you see vehicles parked in front of the fencings and stuff like that, and so we can get up there right away.
For people who appreciate Butte's mining history, the loss from these thefts are more than just about money.
This is irreplaceable. Nobody will ever know how this machine used to run or what makes it run, because so many pieces have been stolen.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
This morning, U.S. House candidate Ryan Zinke outlining a plan to develop the Treasure State's energy resources over in Billings. Zinke says Montana has the resources to be a world leader in energy production, but those resources must be cultivated responsibly. Among the details outlined, developing resources on federal land, using clean coal, and supporting both fracking and horizontal drilling.
You know, what was told me when I was going to school was that we were going to run out of oil, and definitely in 2010. Well, you know, God's got a sense of humor. He gave us fracking. And fracking is a global game changer. And fracking in the Bakken, fracking in Marcel Shale on the East Coast, and fracking in the Eagle Ford Shale in Texas, you know, is the great change of our lifetime.
Zinke's plan stresses balance between environmental stewardship and expanded energy, pointing out that a booming industrial economy doesn't necessarily need to come with an environmental price tag. Meanwhile, the campaign for John Lewis, the Democratic candidate for Congress, said that Zinke's plan is laced with partisan rhetoric that does nothing to solve problems or bring people together towards solutions. That's the Washington way, not the Montana way. Lewis released his own energy plan in June. that his campaign says is responsible and includes all of Montana's energy resources. A plan to guide the future of both the Helena and Lewis and Clark National Forests is the subject of an open house going on right now at the Lincoln Ranger District. Forest Service officials say a single plan for both forests will increase efficiencies in the future. The last time plans for the forests were updated was 1986. A revised plan will give officials overall direction, goals, and guidelines for how the lands will be managed for the next 20 years. During this phase of the project, the Forest Service is looking to hear what the public thinks about current conditions on both forests, what's out there now, and what issues folks are concerned about. With the revision covering both forests, a total of 3 million acres, officials are counting on the public to help them know what's going on.
And we want to hear from people about what they see as the current condition out there now. Things that, some of the things that people know we might not know because we aren't able to get to all of those acres. So we want to hear from people what they know, what's going on out there, so that we can incorporate that into our assessment and then move forward into the revision phase.
Public comment on the plan revision is being taken until further notice. You can find out more about the plan by logging on to KXLH.com. Helena Community Credit Union gathered today not only to celebrate a new branch location, but also the fact that they've saved their members over $1 million in interest, and they celebrated by sharing $10,000 to 5 local charities, including Exploration Works, the Angel Fund, Helena Symphony, Westmont, and Helena Food Share.
But to understand that your customers are part of this big picture that makes a good community working together. As the nonprofits work together in so many ways, we have all kinds of ties as we try to spread those dollars. And it is truly an honor to once again be honored financially by this community credit union. My thanks to you all.
Well, it's more of the same old heat here in Helena. Zach Green joins us this evening in the Weather Center. Zach, folks are hoping relief is on the way.
Well, I'd like to give them some better information than what I'm about to tell them. We're seeing that high pressure system lingering over the southwestern portions of the country leading up into the Treasure State, and 91 degrees currently in Helena right now. Taking a look outside Jefferson City, you folks might be just a little bit cooler, getting down to about 77 degrees, and I do think some of the rain in the elevated area is probably cooling that off just a bit. As we take a look at the Doppler network, again, the mountain areas are going to be seeing that rain, but here in the capital city, we're going to be remaining dry for the rest of this evening. Taking a look at the hour by hour, a few clouds overhead at the American Federal ICAM. We're going to still be warm at 92 degrees at 7 p.m. Only dropping down into the low 80s by 9 p.m. We're going to be having a mild evening at 11 p.m. with, again, a few clouds just overhead and very calm conditions. Nothing really mixing up this hot air at all. I'll let you know when we can see some rain coming up in Storm Tracker weather.
All right, thanks, Zach. And also coming up, buyer beware for those wanting to see Sir Paul McCartney. They need to do business with a reputable broker, or they might be singing the blues.
Fair, accurate, to the point. The 5:30 news continues on KXLH.
Welcome back. The adult-themed Testicle Festival begins tomorrow in Rock Creek, and because of its rowdy and dangerous reputation, law enforcement wants to be ready. Missoula County